Welcome back to Bound by Flame. I've beaten pretty much everything in the game up until this point on the captain difficulty. It's taken me about 14 hours. I was originally going to fight this boss also on the captain difficulty. But man, after realizing what this fight actually was, I said fuck it. If you're gonna fight it on captain difficulty, you're gonna have to potion chug. There's no other way. So I've got 45 potions, 19 mana potions. I actually had to do 2 other boss fights again. Record another video again, just so I could get potions to be ready here. And then I found out this is the ending of the game. You just beat this boss, you beat the game. And I was like, fuck this game. Fuck this boss fight. Fuck this game. Let me explain. This game is about 14 hours in length, and that's if you complete everything, which I personally have. I've tried my best to complete everything, gone for every dialogue option, all that kind of stuff. There's no choice that has any real impact on the game, besides how you look, I guess. That's it. That's the only choice you have inside of the game that matters. I've checked other walkthroughs. That's it. Besides that, there's not much else. Say hello to the guy who's gonna tear you to bits, even on this difficulty. Can easily destroy you in seconds. Oh boy. That's not the demon inside your head, by the way. Okay. I'm just gonna put health potions. Doesn't look too bad. Keep in mind this is on retard mode essentially. And I've actually gotten some good gear. Potion chugging away. Those orbs, not only do they do a good amount of damage on their own, but they also do damage over time too. This is what I hate about boss fights. Okay, so he's got those orbs, he's got his fucking knives, and then there's this. Yep, there's this. I think there's about 3 fucking songs in this entire game. They've certainly repeated themselves a lot. That's a trailer song, by the way, or actually a variation of the trailer song. Okay. He uses his exact same tactics on the highest difficulty, by the way. Now I have to stab his fucking neck somehow. Nice field of view here. Okay, come on, bring your heads. So annoying to have to wait for a head. Okay, let me just... Okay. Okay. And I got my ass kicked there because I was I didn't care. I was like fighting in fire. Yeah. Anyway, that's kind of the boss fight, I think. Unless he has another phase, unless he brings that dragon back. Keep in mind, by the way, you can't save. Though you can knock the bastard down. Let me just drink some mana. Oh. More orbs! Yes, you can summon more and more orbs. So, here's my problem with the game. You know, it's not the length of it in itself. You know, I can tolerate the short game. That's not my problem. The problem is the quality of those hours that you spend in it. You know? And there's some good moments, but they're few and far between in this game. Certainly not worth the asking price. There are games with far better gameplay system. There are games with far better story. There are games with both, actually. So why exactly would I play this one? Okay, that dragon of his. Oh, interesting. So I no longer have to deal with the static orbs, but I have to deal with the dragon. Oh, actually wait. I have to deal with his orbs anyway. Because of course it's not gonna stop, right? The bullshit will not stop. Oh, the dragon is back! Enjoy! Now I have to deal with him again. So, I'm just gonna go for his leg. The only difference I'm seeing between Captain, and I've actually never reached this stage. Alright. I've never reached this stage on Captain because, excuse me for not being able to fight the boss who can. Well, here's the thing, on Captain difficulty, the difference between that is that he's just gonna two-shot you or three-shot you. Oh, okay. Those orbs. Are going to do a lot more damage. Go down, demon. What? Again? Who designed this? I want to know. Yeah, let's make the final boss difficult. Why? It's not like the other two boss fights. Oh yeah, let's make an unnecessary difficult boss fight. Just because we can. I mean, it's not like I don't mind the difficult game, really. But it's the way that difficulty is done. Like, for instance, I don't know, Dark Souls. Yes, I'm being careless here, I admit. But potion chugging, because it's a wonderful mechanic, isn't it? What the fuck? Here, have a tick. Done.
I knew that thou wouldst allow these humans to corrupt thee.
A dragon? You summoned a dragon?
Ha! One of the few they were able to corrupt, and I turned it against them. Blackstorm defeated it and imprisoned it here. It was trapped, like me.
So now you turned it against me.
It is thee who has turned against me, abandoning me here, left to pay the price for each and all of thy errors in thy stead, whilst I did all I could to help thee to return. And so it is, I am come to the end of my strength, an empty shell or taken with rot. I did not wish to harm thee, but I no longer am master of all that I do.
Is that why you killed my companions?
The visions? Blame rather thy human half, for that is who hath invoked them, with its fear and its regrets. Thy companions never traveled through the breach.
So it comes to this. You and me. It's time we ended this.
Ha! It is all I have awaited. Remove these accursed lances from me, and let the Worldheart become whole once more.
Well, interesting. Let's see.
This is it. The Worldheart. You didn't think I would make it, but here I am. So did your books prepare you for this?
No books can prepare you for this vision, but they can help you to know what to do here. You stand at the crossroads of the world's destiny. And do you know what you must do?
No. I have absolutely no idea.
You must free Vertiel from the Ice Lords and break their link with the Worldheart, but do not abandon us to the demon. If you let him return to his source, he will certainly regain his strength, but all who live will be destroyed. He will take revenge for what men have made him suffer. None will be spared. And you will die. And I want you to live.
This is it. So, no.
Well, that's it.
We're here, Randall. This is the Worldheart.
The knight congratulates his friend on the forthcoming victory. They were able to keep true to their quest, though the price was great. And now only one test remains. Only one last choice so that all will be resolved. The life of the knight has been spared by his friend. Now it is the fate of the world that is at stake. The faithful friend will remember his duty. The Iced Lords must perish.
Okay.
The Worldheart. We made it.
Much blood was spilled to bring us here. Let us make sure it was not in vain. Now you are faced with a difficult choice. You have saved the soul of my prince, and thereby that of my entire people. It is possible to do the same for all of Vertial, if you can get rid of the Ice Lords.
You know, the trailer footage was bullshit. The intro footage was bullshit. Much of what happens there doesn't actually happen in the game. As I said, I checked other playthroughs, it doesn't happen. So what the hell? Anyway.
The flame will burn bright anew, and the necromancers will be the first into the fire.
We don't need to go that far. All we need is to remove these spears, and the necromancers will be left powerless.
As powerless as when they enslaved the Worldheart? No, it will not suffice. They must be annihilated.
I'll track them down. The dead walkers will be gone. The survivors will have a chance, and Vertiel will be rebuilt, little by little.
Little by little. It would take centuries, nay thousands of years for thy world to rebuild its energy. The Worldheart hath not been remade whole. Thou must permit me to rejoin with mine other half.
So that you can take over and burn Vertiel? No thanks. I am the most powerful being in the two worlds. I have got responsibilities.
Thou wouldst use me to reign over them, as did the necromancers. How long dost thou imagine that I shall allow thee to use me in this way?
I don't know, but you better get used to it. You were the one talking about centuries and thousands of years before our worlds can be rebuilt. And I plan on being right there to keep an eye on them. Meanwhile, do me a favor and let me enjoy this victory in silence. Do you mind?
That's it. Seriously? That's it? Honestly. That's... What the fuck? Really? Let me just reload, see what he has to say in the other ending. Not that there is any choice in this game that has any impact. Really, there isn't any. The best you get is whether or not the elf dies or Edwin dies. That's all you get. Oh, do you know that choice, so to speak, quote unquote, where early on in the game you get to decide on whether or not you free Edwin? Doesn't matter what you pick there, by the way. Doesn't fucking matter what you pick there. She's gonna break free anyway.
The flame will burn.
If I remove these spears, the Ice Lords will lose their power. But what will happen to Vertiel?
Thy world is weary, all but extinguished. Nothing remains to be saved. It must be cleansed.
But inside me is all the power I need to regenerate my world.
At the cost of mine? Do not think it. Vertiel needs the Worldheart. Thou canst not sacrifice it thus.
There are still dragons, and this way the necromancers will be destroyed. The fire of the Worldheart is not completely out. It will burn bright again, in time.
But without us, I forbid thee to do this. I will not die for thee.
Oh,
And so ends the tragic, though nonetheless heroic tale of Vulcan Half-Demon. I confess I may have romanticized some aspects of the story, though in my defense, I shall always have something of a soft spot for our dear Vulcan. By releasing the Worldheart's energy to the surface, he sacrificed himself in order to heal Vertiel and bring an end to the long winter. Ill-prepared for such a powerful energy surge, the Ice Lords were instantly reduced to cinders. I can tell you, no tears were shed at that funeral. Of course, it was only a few centuries before other would-be mages attempted to follow in their footsteps, though what wonderful centuries they were. With Captain Buffalo leading them, the Freeborn Blades legend grew, and they flourished for a time. Sadly, the legend of Buffalo's immortality proved less than accurate, and after 27 battle wounds and another 40 or so years, he eventually died in his bed, to the great sadness of the 3 charming young women who were sharing it with him at the time. Edwin's corpse was mutilated and burned by the command of King Relmar. Such a waste. I remember being quite disappointed at his decision, as I had hoped I might be able to inhabit her body. It had been an absolute age since I was last inside a woman. To no one's great surprise, Relmar proved to be a formidable monarch. Strong, just, and loved by all. He returned a sense of pride to the elves that the war had stolen from them. He often spoke of how much he missed his outlaw years while being forced to sit through long meetings and dealing with political wranglings. But he was greatly helped by the knowledge and wisdom he gleaned from Arundel's Soul Stone, and he went on to found his own dynasty. The Red Scribes... really, don't get me started on those imbeciles. Nonetheless, it would be uncouth of me not to mention how heartbroken young Sybil was by Vulcan's death. Proud to have fought alongside such a courageous companion, the beautiful young scribe lifted her head high and transformed her grief into purpose. She quickly gained the respect of her peers and was elected chief scribe shortly afterwards, when Liestas died quite suddenly. Apparently, the fool succumbed after having imbibed a large quantity of a somewhat questionable nectar that he and his doctor had invented. And as for myself, well, my goodness, I fear that is an extremely long story, and you would quite literally die of boredom before I finished the telling of it. But you see, that's what I like so much about mortals. Their stories last just about the right amount of time, give or take a few decades, and then they're done. And then they come around again. One thing is certain, I have all the time in the world, so who knows? I may get to tell you other tales, if you live long enough. Toodle-pip.
and what about Randval? saying. I know. Okay, that was it. Alright. Mediocre game, mediocre gameplay, mediocre story. Overall, mediocre voice actor. Despite having good voice actors, the voice acting, because of the script, because of the studio, I don't know, I don't care. Either way, it was terrible. But that's really it. Man, there could have been so much more. There were glimpses here and there of what could have been. But there's nothing more than disappointment, really. I'm sorry, there's nothing more than disappointment when it comes to this fucking title. That's kind of the sad part here. Anyway, Costin here on Serious Gaming, signing out. Hope you enjoyed watching this walkthrough. I didn't exactly enjoy playing through the game, but whatever. And stay tuned for more.